Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well today. Welcome to a quick race today. This was as part of a Sunday stream that Tony Dibden did as he was celebrating his new 7k subscribers. Today we're in the Cadillac CTS-V. This is part of the Global Fanatec Challenge, which is a relatively little series that runs in D-Class. It features the Caddy, as you can see, and the Kia Optima as part of a bit of a multi-class race. So we're about to get underway here. I didn't do too bad in qualifying, but you're going to see there's a bit of a split between myself and the cars ahead and behind.
Go!
And we're off, and we managed to get a good start, keeping with the group in front and staying ahead of car number 6 behind us.
I'm getting mugged!
You can see poor Jack being left out there. Really strong with the slipstream around here, so you've got to try and work together. If you get left without that, you're going to really struggle to keep up.
The car in front of us is Jack, alright.
Being careful on these cold tyres, these are heavy caddies, especially filled with fuel like they are.
Clear right.
But we get stopped just fine there, and you can see, oh, poor Jack there, struggling with the cold tyres as you try and put the power down, he just completely loses the rear. And unfortunately, if you saw in the rear view there, he got tagged by another car, so we'll have a look at that at the end of the race.
Tony, car number 3.
But the problem is, because I had to slow down for that, I'm now 1.5 seconds behind Tony ahead of us, and that's going to create a problem in trying to catch up to them, so I've got to hope they're going to bunch up at some point here. See, we close a tiny little bit through Ascari here, but on these cold tyres I've got to be very careful because it's easy to lose the rear. These cars do have ABS and traction control, but they're very limited sort of ones. But
Brown behind is increasing.
That helps make these more of a driver's car because you can't rely on those aids. I'll brake a little bit there, coming round into Parabolica, and that compromises my exit, so you can see they once again started to pull away ahead of us. But we've now also got a big gap to the car behind us, as it seems poor Harry there had some sort of connection issue.
The gap to P3 ahead
We
is
find ourselves in a bit of a no man's land here, so I've got to hope that something unfortunately might happen to that group ahead to bring us back into that slipstream so I can keep up with them. You notice as well, this is the faster layout of Monza, missing the first chicane, so you can really carry a lot of speed coming into the Curva Grande. And for me, that just means I take a nice big lift, give the front tyres plenty of time to dig in. And through the second chicane here, we've done quite well to catch up to Tony and the cars ahead. Trying to use the fact I've not got any cars in front of me to try and really push through these sections. A bit too cautious there through Ascari. You can hear how late I'm getting on the power, and that's what's really costing me time here. As you can see, they start to pull away once more. Say working together with that slipstream effect, they can really help each other along, and Tony ahead of us there is getting the most out of it, but he seems to be hanging back for now. He's getting a good exit there through the Parabolica, so I'm at least keeping within arm's reach.
114.3. The guy ahead has just posted a 114.3.
As you can see just how close all of our times there. Less than a tenth between all of us.
Tony ahead is now 1.8.
It's like one of them is defending ahead.
One is now leading.
This is what I want. I want to see them fighting. See how much speed I'm trying to carry there for Curva Grande and then get slowed down. This car is so heavy. I can brake harder, but I'm trying to preserve the front tyres at the same time as it is easy to overheat them, which through these two Lesmos will really hurt your times. A bit wide there, and that's my first off track.
We've just cut the track.
Terribly annoying here, so there's not really that many corners, so it is actually very easy to lose safety rating.
P4.
This is good. They're bunching up once again through Ascari. Just needs to get a good exit here. It's not as good as it should be there. I'm just outside of the slipstream from Tony. I'm not getting anything here whilst he's being pulled ahead by the cars in front of him.
In front is now 1.3.
Got a little bit wide here, coming out of Parabolic, which compromises my exit. And they're just going to start to pull away again from me. Really just found myself stuck in this little tedious loop now, where I couldn't quite close the gap to the cars ahead. So we're going to push forward lap 2 here into lap 6, and I've managed to close up the gap here. Managed to finally get good exits out of the Parabolica and Ascari. And oh no, poor Tony ahead of us, he's outbraked himself, so he's going to take the chicane second exit. But that does mean he has a slowdown now, so we're going to be watching to see how he serves that. More than likely he is going to wait for the second Lesmo here and take it on the exit. But he is still pushing on. There we go, he's going to the left and slowing himself down to serve that slowdown. That puts us up to P3.
Nice one, mate.
Now this is good because though I'm just outside of Marco's slipstream here,
The car ahead is Marco, car number 4.
if me and Tony can work together, we should be able to catch back up to the lead 2 cars. And you can also see there in the relative we're starting to catch up to the first of the Kias. Now it works multi-class here as I just missed my braking again. The Kias are a front-wheel drive equivalent to the Cadillac. They're not that much slower and they're roughly the same through the corners.
Make him do all the work, focus on
So
your exits.
it's a nice balance between the Cadillac with its rear-wheel drive and big American V8 driving it, with the Kia, and I think they have a flat 6. And so it's an interesting little combination here for this series. Really it is, I believe, one of the first sort of multi-class races you can get into before the production car challenge. So we do well there coming through the second chicane, or the first chicane in this layout. But we're still just outside of Marco's slipstream. He's pulled a fit on us here. And I don't quite do too well through these 2 Lesmos. They are definitely my weakest corners. You can see I go wide again and get another off track.
Warned about track limits.
The worst thing there is touching that gravel really kills a bit of the momentum of this car. So I've got Tony back up behind me again. I know he is still the faster driver, so I'm going to see if he's going to push me or if he's going to try and take the position, which I'll likely give him, just to try and give us a chance to catch back up to Marco and Graham ahead of us. See that I miss a downshift, it's my own doing here. So I was a tiny bit distracted by watching Tony closing up so fast there.
Sorry if I cleared your mirror. In your mirror.
Still there. Still there.
He does apologise, but that was more on
Still
myself there for just missing that downshift. So I stayed in 4th instead of going down into 3rd, and that really takes away a lot of the rotation. And unfortunately that slowed us down quite a bit there, so you can see that Marco has pulled almost a 3-second gap. So we're going to have to really work together here, but we do still have the time. It's only lap 8 out of 15. But we are coming up to the first of the Kias now, so we're going to have to hope we can both work together through this and get past
Slower
it.
class car ahead. Halfway home, fuel's good. The car in front is Tony, car number 3.
Come up to the first of the Kias. Tony's able to get through okay, and they're staying left, giving me the space to follow Tony through. It's been very kind of them. You can see he closes up behind me on the braking. They are not that much slower, as I say, through these sort of corners. Though being front wheel drive, they're a bit more of a challenge as you're balancing that, being able to get the drive through the corner with your grip level through the corner itself. So there you go, I am a bit back from Tony here. This is not optimal. I'm letting him down a bit, so I should be closer to him so I can start bump drafting him down the straight here. Or at least really slipstreaming together like a NASCAR series. That's the way I was trying to think about this. Because these are big heavy cars like those NASCARs, so at least we do have a much better aero package than what they have. But we also have that nice sounding V8. And again, poor Tony outbrakes himself, so he's taken to the escape road through the second chicane.
I really don't like that chicane.
He's really pushing his braking marker, which is what's leading to that, but you can feel it when you're not going to make it in time, so it's definitely the wiser option to just abandon the chicane there and take the escape. So again, I'm expecting him to keep to the left and slow down. If he does, so it's going to be up to us to lead for a little bit out of Ascari here.
Mate.
But as you see, as we push again to lap 11, it took a few laps this time for Tony to catch up to us. And in that time, the lead two cars have really pulled away now. So now the race is squarely between me and Tony, which is going to be difficult for me because I know Tony is still really good even though he keeps outbraking himself. All I can hope is my consistency here in just underdriving the car is potentially going to give me the win.
Your lap time was
if he makes another mistake.
141.5.
Tony's probably going to be smart here and stay behind me as much as he can. Not really much point in fighting just yet with so many laps. The indicator does say 14.82 in the top left there.
Coming up on some
but
slower
we're
cars.
likely to go
These
to
guys are
15
fighting for
laps.
position. The class leaders in this group.
I'm going to move on these Kias at a rather bad time. We're alright there through the chicane. I'm going to have to send it down the inside
Car
here.
left. Hold your line.
Thankfully he sees me
Clear
and leaves
left.
the space, and I compromise my exit to not run wide. And then again, he's not that much slower,
Left side.
and I just focus on getting a good exit. Now here,
Still there. Clear
I
left.
try and stay to the right. I'm kind of letting Tony try and take the inside if he wants it, but he's quite happy here, as you can see, to just sit behind me.
Don't let this guy intimidate you.
Run out of Ascari now. And
That's 5
Tony's
minutes to go.
still
Come on,
there.
keep it together. We'll be on the podium here.
I was having a little jab there at him saying, can I get an exclamation scared in his chat? Just with having that green Cadillac sat behind me constantly in my mirror. See the relative in the bottom right leaders are still pulling away quite happily. They really have the pace. As you see, they're still putting in the 141s here. As I feel we're at the stage of the race where, though the car is getting lighter, the tyres, temperatures are still running pretty high from all these high-speed curves. That's why I'm still very careful on my braking coming into this chicane, both to try and make sure I don't overshoot, but also to get on the power, which is what really helps you through there, keep your time. Yeah, I outbrake myself a little bit through the first of the two Lesmos, which is why I'm late on the power. managed to do better there through the second. And Tony's not outbraked himself this time, so he's right there with me. Now again, I need to focus on getting a good exit out of here through Ascari. Got the power nice and early. I turn in a bit early then, and I catch those sausage curbs.
Come clear left.
It's contact between me and Tony. I was trying to stay right there to give him the space because I could see he was going down the inside. And I apologise.
I did try to brake, but it did absolutely sod all.
Yeah, I tried to apologise there to him because I felt that I instigated that when I was losing the car. No, there wasn't really much reaction time for poor Tony behind us.
Was it a bratwurst?
We're joking about the size of those sausage curbs. The car can take some of them, but as you saw there, those inside ones, it's very easy to start losing the rear, which is why I had to react and use the brakes trying to rest the slide.
At least your exclamation mark scared was well played.
So we're going to push forward again, and we're on to the last lap. I don't think I had too much damage, but Tony was able to catch up to us, so he didn't seem to have any damage, thankfully, in that. And I felt that was right anyway, because it meant that we could resume our little battle. So here on this last lap, I can tell what Tony's plan is going to be. He's going to be focusing on trying to be right up behind me through Ascari, and then he's going to fight me down towards the curve of Parabolica. So my goal here is to really do better through Ascari this time. I've got to nail it absolutely to stay ahead of him here, otherwise he's going to take me down the straight. So we meet our braking marker on that service road. It turned in and on the power. It's very difficult for me to try and balance the car through there, so I'm still lifting a little bit, but I do get a good exit. You can see that slipstream. Tony's catching up to us rather quickly, so I'm going to try and fake to the outside, which I hold.
Hold your
I'm going
line.
to try and carry the momentum around this corner.
You're still clear right. You need to
And I
push
just
if we're
do
going to
it
hold this position.
before Tony gets a little bit of a slide, putting the power on down there. And that secures us a podium finish after all that.
That was honestly very well deserved, Daniel. Well done, mate.
Podium finish. Nice one.
I was very chuffed. That was a great little fight at the end, which we'll have a look from Tony's perspective after we look through some of the other incidents leading up to this. So we'll start with Jack's little incident on the first lap. And you can see just a little bit too much curb, and the cars behind him just don't react quick enough. Now on to the incident between myself and Tony. You'll want to watch just how much of that inside curb there I take and how it unsettles the car. So I'm slow and Tony's still taking the racing line, and unfortunately doesn't realise until the last moment. Thankfully these cars are made of steel, so they are very survivable for little incidents like that. Now finally, this is the last lap, the move that got us the podium. I'm going to stay to the right for as long as possible and dive to the left and brake late, hopefully catching Tony off guard. You see he tries to hold the inside and get the power down, but he just can't do it, which robs him of his momentum. And with that we're able to just carry the speed and make it safely to the line. So with that, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you again next time.